understand like getting up and changing a diaper at 6 a.m. or something.
Well, listen,
so,
I'm all clean down there. You don't need to change me. I'm all good.
We're talking about us.
Oh, okay, all right. See, now, Billy
We're
Joe...
the birthday boy over here.
Yeah, don't...
Are you 50 today?
No, 40. I'm not 50 today, but thank you very much, though. And that's why you've come in, obviously, just to say happy birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you very much.
Billy Joe, Mike and Trey are here. Good morning. What I love... Now, this is always interesting as well for me. Are we on Facebook, by the way? Oh, great. We're on Facebook Live, so if you want to watch us and the boys, then Chris Moore Show on Radio X Facebook page, you can watch us live. Now... Mike's wearing his headphones as if he's doing Band-Aids, Do They Know It's Christmas? Yeah. Doesn't want to mess up the hair.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The other way doesn't work as good.
That's true. We can't see your eyes.
Yeah, I like that.
But you still look very cool.
Yeah, you like wearing sunglasses or something.
Yeah, my Terminator look.
Yeah.
Trey's hair's on point today, again.
Literally.
Really good. It's really good. Are there some mornings when you wake up and you go, I just want to wear a cap. I just can't be bothered to do that.
Every day. I try to, sometimes like when you're at home and you're not busy making music or in the studio, I try to figure out why I should take off my sweatpants and put on a regular pair of pants.
I'm curious as to know, behind closed doors, when the Green Day facade, if the Green Day facade ever drops, do any of you, and I'm nervous to ask this question because it is a stupid question, but just on the off chance, do any of you own a onesie?
I do. I have a Pikachu onesie.
Yay! Yes!
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
I choose you.
That's still part of the Green Day facade.
Yeah.
Trey has a onesie. Mike?
No.
I even got a slight look of disgust from you when I even said the word.
Not that I'm against onesies. It's just,
We've got some spare ones downstairs.
All right. You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is pretty cold.
It is, it's very cold.
Yeah, it is.
Where do you all live? Where are you all based now?
Oakland, California.
Right. Okay. All three of you still?
Yeah.
So this weather that we're having here, this is not actually yet cold in the UK. This is kind of getting cold.
The sun is out right now.
I gotta see a beam of sun behind
it was
you.
for a second.
Yeah, but it's not.
Don't be alarmed, people of England. That great ball of fire you see in the sky is called the sun.
But you say that, we forget what it's like. When we go on holiday to somewhere nice and warm, we're totally freaked out by the weather. It totally freaks us out. Anyway, look, there's so much I want to talk to you about. Revolution Radio is the new album, which is great, by the way.
Thank you.
It's another great piece of work. Now, I made my notes last night. There's so many things I want to talk to you about. So I want to talk to you about in no particular order. I'm going to throw them out first. Revolution Radio. I want to talk about the album.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about Ordinary World, which is your movie. Now, I want to talk equally as much about the movie with you as I do the other guys as well, because I want to know what they think about you being Mr. Movie Star. And American Idiot, and of course, the most important thing they're here today is they're launching their own brand of Green Day onesies.
Yes, yes, huge.
They're all beautiful punk onesies for everybody to wear.
Union Cross onesies.
And there's a dong pocket.
There's a what?
What?
A dong pocket.
What is a dong pocket?
A pocket for your dong.
Right. It really is that simple.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one I've got is
Adjustable.
it's double zipped, so you can zip it down, but you can also zip it up. So when you need
Zip
to
it
go,
in there.
That sounds dangerous.
rather than take the whole thing off, you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
Just says, oh my God.
Very, very careful. I have caught myself a few times. This is not what you need to be hearing first thing in the morning. So tell me about the album, the idea behind it, and what it was like in the studio putting it together.
Well, we produced this one ourselves. Not really. We didn't make a firm decision to do it. I think we went in and we started doing demos, and then eventually we just like, well, why don't we just do this ourselves? Because it seems like we're working together really well, and in a really small studio in Oakland, California. And the first couple songs that were written were Bang Bang and Somewhere Now. And I thought like Bang Bang Bang, Bang Bang Bang, seems like it was just like the right song for like, and same with Somewhere Now, where it's something political, but then Somewhere Now was something that was more personal, and it just felt right for Green Day. And then we just took the next couple of years of writing and talking it over, and it was a really it was my favorite experience in the studio for sure.
Really? Obviously it's your job, it's what you've done for so long. You don't really know anything else apart from what you do. I'd love to know individually, what are your favorite and your least favorite bits of making a new album? So obviously there's the writing process, there's the going in, there's putting it all together, but then there's elements of it like mixing, and especially if you've produced it yourself.
Yeah.
What is great fun still that never gets boring, and what is like, you guys can do that, I'm gonna I'll come back tomorrow.
I think the hardest part for me was mixing, because the guy that mixed it, his name was Andrew Sheps,
right?
And he was in Wales, and we were sending him the files, and so we had to kind of, and it was just because it was the distance, it had nothing to do. He's an amazing mixer,
right?
So, but yeah, sometimes he would get mixes, and he would be up till 3 a.m. his time. And we would be waiting around, and you have to wake up the next day and wait for the next thing, and blah blah blah. But we would do it again in a heartbeat. And I think the funnest,
getting new sounds.
Yeah. I think just kind of messing around,
experimental side of things, and getting new sounds, and just making a mess.
And is that you guys literally just in the studio going, let's try this, tweaking around with stuff?
Yeah, I think playing with your equipment, right?
Yeah, I think like the fun part was to kind of lay down sort of the basic tracks, whether it's guitar, bass, and drums, and then being able to then taking everything out and then starting to put in different sounds on top of the drums and the bass, and whether it's like using a bow, like a Jimmy Page kind of style of doing stuff, and making weird sounds with like keyboards, and putting a bunch of just different elements that you can't really hear. It's more of just kind of things that are sort of ear candy.
Right.
So, but it's so it was really fun.
There were days when I'd come in the studio and Billy would be in there like a mad scientist with like bows and just like weird, just making these sounds out of the studio. I'm just like, I just kind of peek my head in. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to mess with this. This is going well.
So what do? You get there and you go, okay, he's doing stuff. I'll just leave him to it.
Yeah.
I'll just do something
basically,
else.
yeah. It's like Back to the Future, when he's working on the flux capacitor.
Of course.
Yeah. Sort of like that.
When it comes to track listings, now, I'm curious as to know how this would work when there's with all three of you, maybe even 4 of you, I don't know. When you go, okay, so this one's got to go first. Mm-hmm. One of you will say, let's say you say, but you go, this one's got to go first, and then Trey goes, is that ever come into it? Because the track listing of an album is so, I would imagine in the process of putting it all together, is it as important for you? Because when you get an album, the first time you ever get anyone's album, a new album, you listen to it, you don't know what to expect. Unless you've heard a single from it, a lead single, you put it on, it's all new. It's all new. It takes you on a little journey. And then you listen to it again, and then you start to know, as a listener, you start to feel, oh, I know the flow of it. So when you put it together, do you put all that? Yeah. Oh, Mike's going to do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, the first song that we went after recording was Somewhere Now. And
right.
that song kind of spoke as the introductory to the record anyway. That was kind of obvious. And then the rest of it was really just a process,
Okay.
So one thing, being in Green Day, you never get that first listen of the whole record.
Sometimes the songs will like speak to each other, and like, okay, these songs are kind of married, or these songs, there'd be 2 songs that like you could tell, like even after we just put the basic tracks on it, even sometimes before the lyrics, like, wow, this song would go really well with this song,
right?
So then they sort of group up, like sort of like in grade school, playground, like kids sort of group up, and the songs sort of do the same thing, and then we sort of put them in flow.
Right.
These are all very. Trey's just found our bells, by the way. These are all very serious music questions, but I'm just genuinely, as a music fan, I'm genuinely interested. And another question that I have, again, which is kind of silly and nerdy and geeky. There are not many of your songs, and off the top of my head, and now you're here, I can't think of many songs that fade. That just most of your songs kind of end. And I'm curious, every time I hear a song on the radio or a song on an album that fades, I'm always curious to know, in the studio, do they ever end that track? Like, do they give it an ending, and then when they're mixing, go, oh, well, let's just fade it?
Yeah, I guess it's hard to, if we're playing live, it would be weird if someone was on the master fader and fading it. We've done it before. We did it on Kerplunk, or it's a song called 80.
Right.
That we did it there, and Husker Du was really good at that. Like, good fading songs out. Mostly it was just like Bob Mould's like big guitar sound that would just go boom. But no, I mean, we like it's like the ending of a song is just as important as the beginning. It's almost like a moment within itself. Like, you get the riff and it introduces the song, or whatever you're doing is like, here's the declaration of the song, and then now here is the finish. We used, our songs, when our songs were 2 minutes long, it would be like, there was no middle. It was like, here's the beginning, here's the end.
I love it. Well, listen, thank you for coming in. You're not going yet. I'm going to keep you here a bit longer. There's lots, as I say, I want to talk to you about. The album is Revolution Radio from Green Day. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. We'll play a track from the album, and then we'll talk some more with Green Day live on Radio X.
The Chris Moyles Show.
With priority tickets from O2, getting you closer to the artists you love.
The big chair event is on now at Staples. There's big discounts of up to 50% off a wide range of office chairs. The Ferroni chair was £179. It's now half price at just £89.50. For big savings, get to Staples' big chair event. It's on now. Staples. Make more happen.
When was the last time you saw the cost of filling your vehicle